haven't gone on a ride in 3 days. Was trying to work on both my fixed gears, single speeds, but both having problems. One, I just need to change the cranks. The other, I may or may not have to retire because I took out the cranks, since they're one-piece cranks, the one I've been riding, and my 26-inch Mongoose BMX that I've been riding fixed for a couple years. I'm not sure if the part is removable or not, but I noticed it got broke, like where it's on the chainring side. Normally one-piece cranks sometimes have the cups, this one doesn't. Or if it does, it might be welded in or something. I don't know. I can't tell. They don't look removable, at least. So that kind of sucks. So I'm riding the Diamondback today. I know the reason I'm glad it was given to me. Otherwise, I'd be skating or walking. Wasn't going on a morning ride, but then it started raining. But then it stopped like 2 hours ago. So that's cool. Decided to eat before I left because I started to get hungry. Gonna cross the bridge. Haven't done that in a while, in like a year. I hate this intersection. Probably stop using it, but it's convenient. I just have to go straight down my street to get to it. Huh. I don't know what that was about. That lady, don't know if I got him a shot. If I turn around enough. I don't think I pivoted my body. I think it was just my head. But she was yelling at me, saying something about something a week ago when I was halfway through the intersection, so that made no sense. Not sure why she didn't say it when I was right next to her. Whatever. No harm, no foul. Just random, because I have no idea who she is. That happens to me sometimes. Usually people walking. Not sure why it's taking so long. It's probably because they had to redo the entire frame for the new back door. But they started on Wednesday, and then the security door was up, but for whatever reason they took it down before they left yesterday. So I was wondering if my dad asked them to flip it around, because for whatever reason, not a big deal, but they installed it with the knob facing the opposite side. So you have to open the door, you're going from the inside outside, open the back door towards you, then the knob will be on the left instead of the right. So I guess I'll see you later. Not too inconvenient, just kind of weird because our front security door is set up going the same direction as the front door, with the knobs both on the left side. So it's weird. Not huge, like I said, but odd. Looks kind of weird. Mostly. I was gonna put pants on. Kind of regret it. Wasn't sure how hot it was or cold it was. But it had been, well, when the rain first stopped, it was a bit sunnier. One of those post-rain sunny times. So that's why I didn't change into pants. But now, since I was like 2 hours to go, give or take, it's kind of died down. It was brighter when I left, so it's even died down since I left. Oh well. The only bothersome part is right here, going along the water before and on the bridge and right after. Otherwise it's not that bad, just that water chill together separately. That was weird. It's actually been doing long videos and then it randomly just cut off wherever that was. 30 minutes maybe. It was like 25, around 25 the last time I checked, like 10 minutes ago, so maybe 35 minutes. But anywho, sometimes I go to that little box, even if I don't go across the bridge. There's another way to get there at that intersection where I went the wrong way on purpose. Okay. There's the poop bag box. So if I don't have any, sometimes I'll go there to grab them. A few. Didn't really time that well. I almost got hit by a car. Luckily, switched gears and I was able to not die. Just I had a little bit more time with the green light. I have not pedaled since I got on the street. And if I did, it was like right before the little turn I made. Can't remember. Most of it's just been coasting. It's not really downhill, but got a little traction after I went across the intersection. I like going down the street because it's the other side of the street I live on, but I also just like it because obviously it's worse than my side of the street when it comes to the damage of the road, which isn't fun on 700C tires sometimes. Not a fun gear to pedal from a stop at, apparently. I barely even stopped. I was putting that gear because it felt like it was a more straight away gear. Oh, I'm almost home. Guess I'm gonna be riding this bike for a bit so I can get some new cranks for the crew. Now I found my keys. Don't remember where I put them. Very awkward. Look at that little tip. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Team doing the door placement. And the dude left. I don't know, coming up the street. What about the lady? Oh, that's something else. For a few minutes. It's rained quite a bit since Tuesday night. I was kind of surprised, but it's also good because it hasn't happened the last few years, and it's good because obviously the water helps nature, but also there's a lot of wildfires, unfortunately, because it still has been 80 plus in some places in California. So there is the niceness of helping the fire department. There was 2 fires last week near me. One may have been arson. I didn't read the whole article, just saw the headline. It was behind the high school in American Canyon. The other one, I'm not sure. It was behind a food max deeper in the town, past my house. At a apartment complex. Looked pretty gruesome from the pictures I did see from that. The one behind the grocery store. I think from if I remember correctly, from what I did read, I think everyone got out okay. Thankfully. But I may be wrong. anything too severe, but I don't recall. So that one looked a little bit hectic since it was a building, and it went through one of the walls. So it looked kind of crazy being able to see inside from outside type deal. I think I messed up the gears on this somehow yesterday. I was trying to see if I could use my wheel, my flip-flop wheel for the other bike, the 700C. It fit, but obviously, just as I suspected, it was too big, so the derailleur sometimes would hit, depending on what gear I put it in to see how it would go. As well, since it had a fixed gear dog, obviously there was too much excess with the gear with the mountain bike chain. I just wanted to save. I had nothing better to do. I was kind of bored, so you know. But I was also trying to see if I could change the handlebars. I had to change the stem because the bars I want to use are slightly too thick. But in doing that, I learned that the brake levers and the gear shifting levers, they're connected. So it's cool. So just one mechanism. I just had, so that made it slightly easier. I just had to find where the Allen key went, where the head was to the bolt, and then they, since they're one unit, they just came off together. So that was nice. Thank you. I'm glad I put that bell on. Slightly too thick for my other handlebars. Well, on my mongoose at least. I have a couple more I want to try it on, but it was slightly too loose. But since I have the grip on one side and then the shifter on the other, it kind of makes up for that. And I think I found, if memory serves, when I put on this bike, a different size on the inside. I think it with two different size spacers, so you got certain dimensions. You try it, and then it would clamp down with the little thingy inside. I think, I could be wrong, could be thinking about something else. I have a few things that have that set up, so I might be talking out of my butt. Haven't been here in a while, a month or two, maybe 3, maybe 4, not that far. It's like 21 minutes to get here. It says Google Maps, don't know actually. Well, it says 15, so maybe not. Give or take a minute or two. I forgot when. I think I waited like 2 to 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes to start recording, something like that. Forget. I like going down here, even though I always forget, because There's a lot of people that come in and out on bikes, whether they live here or they're like me, they're just using it as part of their route, or maybe both. So there's a lot of people on bikes, so most people are pretty decent with me, even though it's the same in Vallejo where I live. People get so frustrated even though I'm not doing anything personally, except for like I did a little bit ago. I think I did it after I turned the camera on. I purposely went the wrong way. Oh yeah, right when I was heading to the walkway to the bridge. But that was just because it was a few seconds, and sometimes that intersection right there can get a little hairy. So I make little exceptions like that if I'm just gonna go a few feet, give or take, to get to my destination. But since the walkway was right there, I just did it that way, just because it was a little easier. Sometimes that can get annoying because people going up and down to or from the college. That's right there. Uh-oh. Just saw my high school self. Even though technically the dude that was yelling, you probably heard it, he cussed out this dude. Him and his friends were in the wrong. I wasn't, because even though it was a red light, I stopped, looked both ways, and went through the crosswalk. Plus I'm on a bike, so a little quicker. They didn't wait, and there was like 3 or 4 of them, and they were walking, and the car, I'm not taking sides since I don't care, but of course the car's gonna slow down because they had a green light. At least when I went through, I'll say that. They had a green when I went through, so I'm guessing it was still green, and that's why they went, because they turned left. So yes, he was annoyed, but he was also in the wrong because the vehicle had the right of way, as I'm estimating, since the person in the vehicle turned left and it was a stoplight, so you know, 2+2. But remind me of myself, because I always get mad, but usually I have the right of way. If I cut it short and I get cut off or almost get cut off, I've always kept my mouth shut, because they're gonna have it, probably because I drive even before I drove, but I think of it as, well, they're gonna think they had the right of way, so I'm gonna go accordingly as a person without the right of way. So I never complain, because it seems kind of redundant, because how can I get mad if I'm the one that's supposed to stop? You feel me? So that was kind of on him. I mean, of course, it's good to slow down when you see anyone, even if you're not sure what they're doing, whether they're walking or on something with 1 to 6 or so wheels, and they're pedestrian, either way. But can't really get too mad if you're a pedestrian and you're cutting them off just because you didn't want to stop at the crosswalk. What I usually do is I'll just go through the crosswalk, but I wait until there's no vehicles, so that way it's all good. Unless I'm in a rush, I might squeeze the melon sometimes, but usually not so much. And now I'm mad because right as I was passing the second dude on the bridge, I looked down and noticed I didn't have my water bottle on me. I thought it was in my water bottle holder. Now I would have drank more water. So now I need to walk up this hill because lack of water. I was gonna get some water while I was out. Ooh, I guess I'm just gonna go up this hill and back down because the other way, I'll do that another day. Maybe tomorrow I'll go all the way this way. It's mostly uphill on the way back this way. So I'm already huffing and puffing. Oh, I drank a little bit of water before I left, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna actually leave, so I didn't put as much priority as I normally would. I just had a little to quench my thirst at those moments. First is what I would do prior to leaving. I usually in the mornings try to get as much water in me as I can, just because I never know when I'll actually leave. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, sometimes it's not at all. So I try to be on top of it, but not today. Plus, I probably didn't put as much effort since it wasn't that hot. Subconsciously, I don't need to drink that much. Even though I decided to go this way before I left. So I knew what I was getting into. I'm gonna go home, cut this right short, get some water, and then leave again. I was just getting cabin fever. Hadn't gone anywhere since Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Whenever I shot my last video, which I think was Tuesday afternoon or morning. The only bummer about needing to hydrate going back across the bridge, I might walk part of it, we'll see. It's fun going from my house, but if you're kind of out of it like I am now and worse, it's not that fun because it has a bit of a grade to it. It's not that hard, it's just not that fun at the same time. Alright, that block, that museum thing, I don't know when they did it last, but they do a, what's it called? Like a town sale there. Pretty cool. I went like once or twice with my mom. It's cool. What is with its gearing? I feel like I'm walking on a cloud. I feel like I'm in some uphill gearing. Guess I'll have to wait till it evens out down here. My parents' dog is so weird. Most normal dogs might be weird when their owners have people come over, like we have the last few days, to do some various random housework, like we have with the back door. But no, the only I have, well, maybe it's because they're behind the glass door. That could be one reason, so it's not as loud. But the only time she's made any ruckus was with me before I left. I went to the bathroom just to make sure I was alright, since I had to pee and I didn't want to make a stop. So before, as I was walking in and after, she started barking and growling at me, and all I did was go to the bathroom. She was a strange little dog. She's funny though, when she's not grumpy. She's very weird around my mom and myself, and she's also my mom's dog. My mom just says she's my dad's dog now, pretty much, because she's so attached at the hip after he got hurt in 2018 when they first got her. And he couldn't walk for like a month and a half, 2 months, which left them to bonding together. The worst is when he's gone. And it's just me, and they both leave, or he just goes, my mom's home, she acts like she's alone, or they're both of us and one of us, or she does the same thing when it's just my mom and I'm not there. Strange little dog. I don't want to go up this hill. I forgot about this hill. Might walk up this one too. Screaming, much of that was though. Kind of like she said, hey you guys, from up above the hill on the left. I'm not sure. This hill isn't that bad, but I do like having a bike with gears. It's alright on single speed or fixed gear, but it can get annoying if you don't have the right gear ratio. I'm gonna cut through the pathway. Not bad. Come on. Almost there. Nope, not so good. There we go. Much easier. Go this way, I just have to worry about other pedestrians, cyclists, what have you, since there's a path underneath the bridge that leads to the bridge, or away from the bridge, depending which way you go. I usually don't go down it, just because a lot of people walk their dogs and I don't want to spook them, because I can go pretty fast downhill on my other bikes. Plus sometimes it can be crammed versus sometimes it's a little better going down the street. Most of the time I forget about it, or I remember and don't do it for whatever reason, because I'm still nice to get out though. I did get some Poshmark listings up since I had nothing else to do, so that was nice. Gonna try to do some more later on all my stores. And my mom finally called T-Mobile on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was Tuesday, and I didn't really have any problems that I recall, but I guess she was having some intermittent interruptions throughout the day, and the lady said that was happening a lot in our area from other people saying the same thing. And when she looked at the analytics or whatever, and she even gave my mom an overall discount on the Wi-Fi bill, plus another like $35 or something off because of, I don't know, maybe she might have went into a long, because I told her like a month ago so whenever we got the new modem to call them, because I hadn't noticed any problems since we switched to T-Mobile 5G from Comcast. Maybe here or there, but very lightly noticeable type stuff. But then it got worse once we got the new modem, and I told her to just call them since it's a new service, and there could be things they gotta refine and all that jazz. So she kept procrastinating and then complaining to me about it. I just kept saying the same thing, but I might slightly alter it a little. But that was cool that she got a discount. I told her to call, like I said, since it's new, there's probably going to be more hiccups, since it's, even though it is 5G, since it, at least in our area, it just came in. I don't know about other areas, so I said call in because they need that kind of feedback. But for whatever reason, I think she may have been not wanting to, thinking it would take longer, or she may have thought it might balance itself out if she just toughed it out. No clue. I thought when I mentioned to her that I noticed there was quite a bit of difference once we got the new modem after the other one exploded. I thought that might get her to do it, but it's hard to know. She'll complain and procrastinate. Sometimes instead of putting the effort, which can suck. Dealing with her being a little too patient and complaining when all she has to do is make a phone call to situate it. I'd call. I just don't know if I have that access. I think I do. I'm just not sure. Or she might have switched it over to my brother, since he's also on our account. Since he lives in New York, she may have switched it. Or might have both of us, I don't know. That wasn't bad. I can't remember. I want to say I've gone this way once since I've had this bike, but I'm not sure. One of the easier treks coming back this way, put in a decent gear for the uphill part that I wasn't totally wiped out again, and it's not as bad as the hill I walked up. Also, not that that's bad. Well, that's at least a hill. This is just a little bit of a incline as it curves because of the off ramp being there for the freeway. I think I'm gonna put this into 2 parts. Then make it a full trying to make my videos not too long, not too short, and in the sweet spot. I mean, I might not have the most exciting content, since my content might not be that exciting. Try to keep the engagement there, you know. I bought a case, a waterproof phone case for my phone, and a waterproof GoPro case for my GoPro, and of course I goofed and the phone case doesn't have a hole for the camera, but I'm just gonna let it come and see what happens. I found another one that I like better. Well, not that I like better, it's what I was after. I'll just put it that way, since I haven't tried either one. I can't say yeah or nay, but it kind of has like a it goes up and down like those desk lamps, like similar to the Pixar lamp. It's like that, and then you can do a 360 rotation. There you go. Wonder how far they went. If they went all the way, or if they turned around. Saw all 3 of them when I went the other way. sometimes going down this on a brakeless bike, whether it's single speed or fixed, can be a pain. Right now it's alright, but depending on the weather, if it's a warmer day or maybe a different time of day, whether it's warm or not, there can be all kinds of obstacles with people having their kids, toddlers age to teenage, anywhere in between, dogs, skateboards, scooters, even though you're always supposed to walk or ride bikes, you won't care. Dogs are allowed though, as long as you pick up after them, since they got the thing there for the hoops. Sometimes I come this way when I walk my parents' dog or my sister's dog together or separately.